I'm here in Brampton, Ontario, guys, and I want to take you through one of our projects that we have going on here. It's a two-bedroom legal basement apartment with a kitchen, laundry room, all self-contained apartment with a side entrance. So let's go inside. Let me take you guys on a tour and let me show you what we got going on in this basement here in Brampton. This is going to be our side entrance. We don't have a below grade entrance. It's a side entrance with a side door into the apartment. Let's go down. So here we are inside of this basement apartment. I'll take you through, show you all the features of this legal apartment. First and foremost, as you can see, we have the rigid insulation on the wall, right? With the 2x4 frame and the front. So basically, with the rigid insulation, we put it against the concrete wall. This is gonna stop any type of moisture, okay, from coming through the concrete and affecting the basement, right? Next, this insulation here is actually R 3.5 to R4. Everything is sealed at all the joints. And next, we'll be doing a R22 batt insulation in between the studs. So this will bring this basement up to a R26, R27, somewhere along that line. So this is bedroom 1. It's a smaller bedroom. It's about a 10 by 10 bedroom. And here we have the living room, okay? Living, dining, all in one. It's an open concept. We will have the counters along that wall with a fridge on that side, the stove in the center, and a nice island right here on the center of the space. But most importantly, what I want to show you guys is this huge window that brings in so much natural light into this basement, right? This is an important part of any basement renovation, and I can't stress enough, whenever you're doing a basement, try to get a large window so you can bring in as much natural light into the space. And not only for natural light, you also want to use this window as egress, right? So in case of any type of emergency, someone can escape easily, or if someone has to come in and for emergency, the firefighter, they can easily knock the windows out and come in and save someone's life. So we have the furnace room here with our HRV. This HRV is in front of the door right now. We will be moving this over to the corner of the basement, okay? And we would have the space here for a fire-rated door. That's super important whenever you're doing a basement apartment. The furnace room needs a fire-rated door. And right over here, this will be the laundry room. Side-by-side washer and dryer will be right here. And as we go through the basement, we have the bathroom. It's a typical 5x8 bathroom here. In the basement, we would have right under the window, we will place the sink and a mirror just below the window, okay? And beside that, we will have the toilet and the shower. Right off of this bathroom here, we have bedroom number 2. This is the larger of the 2 bedrooms. And also we have another huge egress window. And this is something that I always tell you guys, okay? When it comes to egress window, the code required the egress window not to be a slider. The bigger window that I just showed you, it's a form of egress, yes, okay? But when it comes to an emergency situation, you want it to be a simple way to open that window. So let me show you how this window work with one single action. So when it comes to egress windows, you don't want to have too much mechanics, okay? It should be simple, easy to open, okay? just like this, like the way you open up a door, okay? That is what they consider a legal egress window for your basement, okay? All window can be determined as a form of egress, but when it comes to the basement, they want this specific style of window where it's a easy to open as a door. Here we have our electrical panel, okay? So take a look. This electrical panel will be upgraded to a 200 amp. So we have a 100 amp panel here. If I can zoom close, you can see it says 100 amps. And we only have space for about 4 breakers, right? But we can actually use this panel, okay? We just need to use some space savers, but the right way to do it, because we'll be adding a second 30 amp for the dryer, plus we need a 40 amp. This is a 40 amp here. We need another 40 amp for the range, right? Plus we need the plugs for the kitchen. We need at least 2 or 3 for the kitchen, and those are all 20 amps each. We need a separate breaker for the washer. Plus we have dishwasher. There's a lot of, plus we have the fridge. There's a lot that goes on into these apartments. So an apartment is like a second house. Everything that you have on your main house, you pretty much will have it in your basement, okay? In terms of appliances, right? So when it comes to the basement, you want to try to upgrade the panel. You don't want to overload your service. So if you have a 100 amp, especially if you don't have room in the panel, you want to upgrade that to a 200 amp, right? Let me show you the dry core that we have on the floor, because this is important. It is not mandatory, but it's recommended that you do a dry core subfloor. That way you keep the moisture down and it keep your feet warm in the winter time, okay? So let's take a look at the dry core subfloor. So we have our dry core subfloor here, right? This floor is the one that is called the dry core R, okay? It has an R value of number 3, okay? Let me give you a closer look. It has this foam layer on the bottom and the OSB on the top, okay? So as you can see, this is the original, the dry core product. It is not one of those knockoff brand. Not to say the knockoff brand wouldn't work, but you know, we're using the dry core product. And what I want to point out to you guys is, whenever you're doing dry core, okay, you want to have your dry core down first and you frame on top of the dry core, right? Some people, they frame first, then they add the dry core later. It can work, but personally, I don't recommend that, because you want to keep the moisture to flow under the floor, right? Instead of you bringing the dry core up to the bottom plate. There you have it, guys. I will be bringing you more updates as this project go along, okay? Next, we would have the plumbers are coming in today to start the plumbing work. So we have plumbing, electrical, and HVAC to get done. So we would have our, when it comes to HVAC, we want to lower all our vents lower to the floor, all that good stuff. I will give you a complete walkthrough of that while it's being installed, and also when it's done, so you can see what it looked like at the end, right? That is super important. So stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll take you through this complete process. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. That way I can answer the questions and clear anything up. Maybe I might miss something, okay? Or you have a question about something, the way how we do a certain type of method when it comes to framing, drywall installation. I would love to answer any question you might have about this project or any other project. Even if you're working on a project at your house, you have any questions, shoot me a message and I'll try my best to answer your question. So I'll see you in the next video.